mine if you show me yours. Okay.
We've rarely recorded on a Wednesday.
This is not our usual day.
No. Fridays, right?
Fridays.
Usually Fridays.
Sometimes Saturdays if we come over early. Saturdays.
That's true. It'd make it more of a cozy event out of it.
Yeah, we're in my pajamas.
That we have more than once done this podcast in jams.
It's fun.
It is fun. I love doing it.
Yeah.
I love gym jams and I like podcasts.
Oh my
so
goodness.
both things are great. Hi.
Hi.
This is I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Thanks for joining us. This is the tone of it. We've already established
Yeah,
that.
you match us. We don't change.
It's whimsical and aggressive. Those are the words.
That's the, you know.
Thank God they can't rate us directly. Because we don't want to hear it.
No. Save your comments to yourself unless they're positive.
Yeah, and then send them directly to Maggie.
And praise.
She would like those.
Yeah.
She
or
would
my
like
mom. She'll
your
those.
mom would love them.
She'll love
Are you
them.
kidding me? She's getting all the good reviews sent to her.
Oh my God. She will send me positive. She'll like screenshot. She's like, do you see this wonderful comment? I love it. I love
these
it.
wonderful comments. You're like, yes, nothing can fill the hole in my heart, though, mother.
Yeah.
Not a single thing can fill it. It's just an endless void in here. But thank you for pouring material into it.
Mother. She is so supportive and always has been, you know.
She is. But our hearts are like a sarlacc pit, consuming goodness.
Shoveling coal into it.
For 1,000 years. Anyway, that's a weird Star Wars reference, but I think I'm in the right place for that. Hey, Mags.
Hey.
What you been up to, buddy?
Oh my goodness. I have been busy.
You've been so busy.
I've been so busy.
You've been really busy.
Yeah. And like part of that is that Hollywood is preparing for a strike.
I know. I keep hearing everything that I have out in the world right now is somehow being impacted by the strike. And I don't know why that's true.
Right.
But it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, I guess very easy the rules are very clear. So it's like, you know, but there are things that I got to get done before that. And also everyone else is busy. So everyone else is also, you know.
I hear rumors that the podcast hosts may end up being in the WGA at some point and the strike might address that. I don't know if that's true, but that's a rumor I heard.
It's only a matter of time. I mean, everything is like a long time coming, like so a long time coming for streamer. You know, it's a long time.
For sure. Yeah. I think forensic accounting is a thing that's, so if you don't know what the script, the writer's strike is about.
Yeah.
Briefly, as I understand it, essentially, there are no residuals being paid to writers for stuff being screened on streaming.
Correct.
Because there's no visibility into how many streams there are. Like how many times things are streamed or whatever, we don't know. Therefore, there are no residuals being paid because they don't fit into the network profile of the residual agreements from previous Writers Guild agreements. So the thought is that this strike is going to shift the business pretty significantly.
Yeah.
Who knows how? Also, apparently AI is a big subject on this writer's strike.
Which is wild.
It shouldn't be.
I know.
Have you been watching movies? Yeah, I know, buddy. I've seen one or two that I was like, I'm getting upset. This might legit be AI writing it.
An AI computer just like won some sort of screenwriting contest that they had to revoke it.
Perfect.
I know. It's perfect.
It's
good.
Perfect.
Great.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Good.
I'm grateful.
Yes,
I'm grateful for that.
I love it.
Good. Yeah. Pretty soon we're going to be AI. Are you ready for that?
I mean,
are you ready for AI to perfectly approximate the faces and noises you make?
Yes, I'm a millennial. I think we are. What are we? But a walking sentient AI regenerating the TV bits that we grew up on.
You're not wrong. Also, you've weirdly and perfectly introduced the movies we're going to be talking about today.
Did.
Thank you for doing that. But I'm not going to transition if you thought I was.
No, not yet.
Hey, so what else you been up to? I mean, other than insane busyness.
Another fun thing is, much like you, we've been slowly upgrading our like old the IKEA thing that we've had forever that is falling apart.
It's Swank City over in Shea Mags.
Swank City.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been fun. I finally got Will some upright bookcases.
Oh,
to put all their books.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone needs bookcases.
Everyone needs
I don't even have
bookcases.
enough bookcases.
I know. And I love your bookcases.
They're
but
from IKEA.
Oh my God.
Actually,
They're
one
really
of them
cute,
is not because the one over there is not because it was the IKEA one was destroyed in a flood.
Yes.
You know,
Listen, nothing wrong with IKEA bookcases. Ours were actually just planks of wood and cinder blocks. So that is what we are upping.
there's some people that would pay thousands of dollars for that.
I know. It did look when people would come in and comment
artisanal.
all the time. Yes.
That's cool.
Industrial. But they were falling apart, and
your apartment's not really like lofty.
No.
It would fit in a loft.
It would fit in a loft.
Yeah.
We didn't have enough space for that. We had no wall space because they were up against the wall.
Yeah. If you had a $40 million apartment,
Exactly.
like overlooking some city,
could get it to work.
Walls of glass.
Yeah.
Then your cinder blocks would be
They'd fit right in.
perfect.
They'd blend in with the cinder block ground.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And your cats would be miserable.
Yes,
tiptoeing
yes.
miserably across your like cold, godless apartment.
They would be like, where's the higher entity here?
Exactly. Perhaps we know more than you about life.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So new bookshelves like
Yeah,
that. You've been
new
slowly getting
bookshelves.
swanky.
Yeah.
A slow swank building Shea Mags.
It's been nice. It's been fun.
Yeah, great.
Will is not much of a decorator, but it's been really fun to get them involved.
Do you still have the orange room?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
You're
Bedroom.
living in candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to have a balance. So I feel like the living room is more grounded, earthy tones.
Okay, it's been a little bit since I've been there. So
Yes,
okay.
yes. But like living room, earthy tones,
Yeah.
greens, browns,
Yeah.
natural. But then as you get towards our bedroom,
The Holy of Holies.
the Holy of Holies, it's
Yeah.
sunset.
Yeah.
Orange.
It's a candy explosion.
Yes.
Megs is proud of the effect she has.
Yeah.
As you should be. It's
And I love your
quite
accurate
striking.
descriptions.
Thank you.
That is a candy
That is
explosion.
what it is.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
That's what
I
I'm
love
going
it.
for.
It's perfect. And it's perfect. No doubt.
It's full of fur.
No doubt. It's perfect. Okay. Any other news to report before I grab the mic here?
No, other than I will just wish my dear friend Katie. I went to their Bachelorette party in Chicago.
Nice.
And it was wonderful. I didn't know any of their friends.
What'd you do? Shoot guns?
No.
Amazing thing for you to do, though.
I bet Will took me shooting guns. We should talk about this.
Yes, but at a bachelorette party,
Okay,
shooting
yes,
guns,
that's true.
That's kind of a pro move.
That's
and I'm not in
very
favor
true.
of guns. We all know that.
You know what we did?
Okay.
It's the opposite of that, but I would
Great.
put it on the same level. We swam as mermaids. We had a mermaid lesson.
This is amazing.
Yes,
This
yes,
is amazing.
yes. We went to the local college's giant swimming pool. A mermaid met us there. We put on
my
mer tails
God.
and mer outfits, and we learned to swim like a mermaid dolphin.
So every question I would ask might sound belittling, and I don't mean it to be.
No, not at all.
So was that fun? Was it as fun? Was it fun or funny?
Both.
Okay, it was fun though.
It was fun.
Okay.
I was not good at it.
Oh no! Butterfly stroke. That's the hardest stroke.
It's the hardest stroke.
Yeah.
And actually, I was nervous that with my legs being, I felt like I was going to feel claustrophobic.
Yeah.
But that actually felt nice. It was more just like nothing felt natural.
Yeah,
My
you felt
body
confined,
didn't.
probably, yeah.
But I mean, Katie, like watching them be a mermaid was like, this is worth it.
They were just having the best time.
The best time. I would say
Okay.
like 50% of the group was having a ball. The other 50%, like me, was not good at it, but was just happy to be
hanging out,
there.
hanging with it.
Absolutely.
Sure.
But yeah, as it was happening, I was like, I'm not good at
I'm
this.
not good at
I'm not-
mermaiding.
Yes.
A thing that isn't real.
Right. Yes.
So-
yes. It's really fun.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to belittle it. I know it's fun.
No.
Believe it or
No,
not,
no. It's
I
not.
see on TikTok people doing mermaid shit
Yes.
kind of regularly.
Apparently, it's a big community. Our mermaid told us that.
I guess. Somehow it's reaching my old ass eyes, so it's got to be a big deal.
It's fun to
Gotta
look
be.
at. Looking at it, I could see someone being very tempted to take lessons.
Yeah.
And I was like, go for it. But I will say just prepared to be bad at it. And
I've always wanted mermaids to not be the Little Mermaid-esque. Like, I like Little Mermaid. I'm fine with it. But I want monster mermaids.
Yes.
That's what I want.
Yes, I want the sirens that'll like eat you and you get. Yeah.
I want them to be hideous.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
I feel more respected by that type of mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Kill me.
there's nothing in the sea that looks pretty out there.
No.
It's all goblin-y out there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So why would there,
Agreed.
no thanks.
No, thank you.
Give me reality.
Yeah, I
in my
did feel like
mermaids.
I felt more like a fake mermaid than a real.
Maybe that's why you weren't that good at it.
They should have given me a scary outfit.
If you were in some kind of an alien mask or something, you would have fit right in.
Yeah.
you would have been top of the school. Yeah. Too cool for that school is what you would have been. Okay, great. What a fun update.
Yeah.
You mermaided, you're buying new furniture, you're full of work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
How are you, my dear
I'm great.
friend?
I'm gonna spring another one on you though first. You ready?
Okay,
I'm gonna
yes.
spring another question on you. Is there talk of children anywhere?
Ooh.
Is there any talk of children in
Yes.
floating around Maggie's house?
Yes, but not anytime soon.
Okay.
Not anytime soon. But okay, here's actually an
We've never
interesting
talked
thing.
about
We've
that.
never talked to this,
Yeah.
but it is actually relevant to one of our. So growing up, I was never like, I definitely want kids, but I always really liked kids. I loved babysitting. Molly was 3 years younger than me. So when she was a baby, I was like, aha, my own alive baby doll was literally what I'd call her.
I own a person now.
Yes, I own a person. And like when I was in high school, I was a nanny for 4 boys. Loved it. Nannied my whole life.
A great nanny.
I am a great
I believe
nanny.
that. And then of course there's that great script on your nannying.
Yes,
that I read a while back.
A bad experience, but it was not the kid's fault. I still liked
of course.
the kid.
It never is the kid's fault.
Never is the kid's fault. But being a woman, you always do need to make sure that when you think that you want kids, that you actually do, and it's not some sort of societal inception of like, am I just repeating the thing I have been told?
How do you know the difference?
Just knowing self.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But you do have to, or at least I felt like, I just need to double check. I just need to make sure that it is actually of my own accord.
Of course. I'm not suggesting you ever should have kids. I just feel like
I know. I'm just saying
something in my brain was like, maybe I should ask that question.
Yeah. But I'll just say I am excited to be a mom one day. Will is fantastic.
Yeah. I see both of you being good at that.
Yeah. And I mean, especially with a partner like Will, that's really the thing that's like,
of course.
I definitely want kids rather than, I do.
If it happens to me, I'll
if it happens
accept
to me,
it. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have always been very like, I don't know if it's like maternals or I like kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom loved being a mom. My mom was a great mom.
Yeah, I see that. Totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. It's fun.
Well, I see a good cocktail of both your parents who I really like in the way that you would raise kids.
Absolutely.
I see it.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And
to
like they worked really well. I mean,
they're a great couple. Absolutely.
Yes.
You can see the dynamic and it's like perfect.
And I think they gave me both a great blueprint of picking a partner, but also a great blueprint of raising kids. Like, you know.
Well, and you guys are good collaborators already, you and Will.
Yeah.
So I could see it.
Yeah.
Okay. No pressure from me.
Yeah. I feel no pressure.
Uncle Adam will never pressure you.
Yeah. No, yes.
What a nightmare.
Well, also my mom is like the opposite of pressure.
Yeah.
She's always been like, you never need to get married, and always like,
oh, cool.
Never let anyone, make you have, whatever.
Yeah.
So
my parents have also never pressured except one time.
This is interesting.
A single time. Once.
What did they say?
My dad, I was 25 years old.
Yes.
So already it's strange. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I came downstairs.
Baby. To me, that's like a baby. 25.
It was definitely a long time ago.
Yes.
I came downstairs. I was going to a club in Los Angeles. He did not know that.
Yeah.
Downstairs was in Brea, California. And he looked at me and he's like, "You going to make me some grandkids?"
Out of the blue?
Yeah. And I was like, "What?
What?
No." And he was like, "Okay, looked like you were." And that was the only time.
What did that mean?
I know.
Did he mean to say,
it was kind
you
of
look
weird.
hot, son? You're looking good? Was it like a backwards compliment?
I think that was some of what it was.
Yeah.
My dad is a bit of a mystery, though. He doesn't, he's very old school man in that way. Like, he doesn't always say what he thinks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never confronted him about it.
Yeah.
I mean, confronted like I wasn't offended.
Right.
But I never like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
But it stuck with me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's been.
Do either of your siblings have children?
Oh, no. They've been very patient, actually.
Yeah.
I've never felt 1 minute of pressure from them other than that one time you mentioned it. And it's funny that he did.
It is.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, weird, right?
That is weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
Real weird.
Real weird.
I will tell you about my week. Thank you.
Yes. How are you doing?
I purchased a new bag.
You did.
As you saw.
Smells wonderful.
It's nice. It's a nice bag.
Nice bag.
I feel a little restless a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
I
you
feel
have
a little
also
restless.
been busy. You've also been busy.
Yeah, I've been busy.
Mm-hmm.
I have been
You
busy.
are busy. Yeah.
Yeah, I am busy.
You are. You got a lot of plates spinning, and you're good at spinning multiple plates at once.
Mostly it doesn't weigh on me too much, but I think
good.
it does add to, like, anytime I feel disappointed in an outcome, I think the workload feels in a subconscious way. Like, then I feel really betrayed or failed or something.
Yes, I totally.
That's happened to me more in the last month or so. Like a couple of just bummer developments on various things.
Yes.
Got me down in a way that normally they wouldn't.
Yes.
I also, like, I went to a wedding recently and saw some old friends from film school, and I realized I probably need to put some work into getting a group of friends that's like,
sure.
Not that I don't have friends, but like that I can hang out with regularly.
Yes.
I don't really have that.
Right.
You know? Like all of my friendships in this world are content based and infrequent a little bit.
Yes.
As much as I love everybody.
Yeah.
So I think I might need to make that change.
That's fun.
Could be.
I have 2 offerings for you to meet people.
What? What do you mean offerings?
Well, I am part of a horror film group that you would fit wonderfully into.
That might be fun.
And then I also have my college buddies who come over.
Am I too old for your college buddies?
No.
Are you sure?
Again,
are they all
would
your
fit in.
age?
Yes, but
sometimes you forget I'm 10 years older than you.
That's true. But you're same age as Will.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
always willing to hang.
the horror buddy because everyone is your age.
Chill. Yeah, it's all oldies out there.
Yeah,
it's chill. And not that I really care. I don't mind hanging out with younger people
of course,
at all.
Yeah.
But I do think with friendship, you do need to be able to build something that's not just based on career or status or whatever.
Absolutely. Well, you also want to be able to give and take. And if you're older, I feel like it's sometimes more of a give. I think
also at my age, it's like, well, I do want somebody who, if I got divorced, would have me over a few times.
Yes,
you know, like I do want somebody who, if I got sick,
yes,
you know, they'd come over.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I don't know if I have that now.
Yes.
That's a real thing.
I have a friend and we're all going to hang out together.
That's cute.
Yeah. And you'll love them.
Of course. Great. And this is not sorry, I'm not disparaging anybody, you know, just a community, I think is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes.
So that I've been a little restless about several of my jobs, and I won't say more than that. Just a little restless.
Yeah.
You know, I've also thought a little bit about moving.
Ooh.
I don't know if I've told you that.
No, that's fun though.
About moving like somewhere.
Where were you thinking?
I don't know. I don't know.
Gut talking.
I don't know. It's just an idea I've been toying with. Because I'm at a point where it doesn't seem like I need to be in LA anymore for production work. Yeah. Because I don't know if there really is any production work for me out here.
Right. And I mean, most things, I know a lot of filmmakers that don't live in LA.
Yeah. So it's starting to feel like, well, then I could be saving more money.
With trees.
And earning more money. I don't know. It's just a thought I've had.
A yard with a dog.
The dog is another thing.
Yeah.
I think the dog has weighed on me in a subconscious way.
Yes.
Where it's like, I should have been able to get one, and you know what I mean? Like,
that's the soul.
And I'm kind of stuck here a little bit, you know? Anyway, none of that is sad. I'm fine. It's more just like, I've been contemplating it in my brain. So I don't know. Maybe nothing will come of that. Maybe something. I do love my bag. I've become a master of lattes.
You have. I'm drinking a delicious latte right now.
Okay, you still like it? How's the sweetness? Was it right?
It's perfect.
Okay, good.
It's perfect
right, good.
For my taste level.
Okay,
thank you.
Perfect. I still love playing video games for money. It's, you know, once in a while I step back. I'm like, I'm making money on every fun thing I do.
Yes.
It's great.
Isn't that amazing?
You know what I mean? It is weird that I was able to make that happen for any period of time.
Weird, but also it is a testament to your kindness, your compassion, your enthusiasm, your love
video games.
Yes.
Video games have always been, I've never thought of them as a career. I still don't really think of them as a career unless things change.
Yeah.
They've always been something I loved for its own sake.
That's how I feel about them.
It's how I felt about movies long ago.
Yeah.
Now there's so much business in my brain about it. It's a little bit different. So it's fun to be able to have an excuse to play too much video games.
Yeah.
It's great. I really enjoy it.
Is there anything that you're excited to play this year?
There are several things I'm very excited to play, actually. I think this new Zelda game is going to be fucking awesome.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
It could be fine. Like it could be a fine game. And if it's a fine game, it'll still be very good.
Right.
You know? And that's great. I love very good games.
Yeah.
I just kind of believe in my heart that Starfield's going to be awesome.
Okay.
I really hope it is. I think it's going to be really good.
Cool.
I think the new Spider-Man game could be really chill.
Yeah.
Because the thing about that game is the first one was really awesome. And I believe that a great company thinks of things that we didn't think of that could make it better.
Yeah.
So like, I don't even know what that would be.
Right.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
You know, because they're going to do that. So, you know, I think there's some really cool, and there's a bunch of little indie titles that seem like they could be fun.
Yeah.
But those three feel like something special. Maybe all three of them could be special.
That's so
I hope.
Cool. This Zelda game does look. It harkens back to.
It looks really good.
It looks really good.
It also looks kind of daring, which I'm surprised by.
I know. The story felt daring. I was like, okay.
I have stayed out of the story because I intentionally did not watch trailers after I saw the trailer where you could make things stick to other things. Yeah. Once I saw that, I was like, that's an interesting idea.
Yep.
That's all I need.
Cool.
Breath of the Wild is my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
So it's a tough act to follow.
Right.
But they went in a direction.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. You know, did I ever tell you that this year I decided to take off dating the whole year?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, interesting.
I found it to be helpful, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
I found it to be helpful.
In what way do you feel?
I've spent a lot more time thinking about what I expect out of relationships. Remember how every time we talk about dating, I'd be like, I don't know what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of am getting a better sense of it now because I've taken some time away from it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Let it percolate a little bit.
Yeah. And I've actually put some real thought into it.
Oh,
you know?
Wow.
I've put a little real thought into that. I should have done this 10 years ago, I think. Maybe.
But I don't think people give that advice. Like,
I don't feel ashamed. I'm saying that now for anybody listening. I think it's, I do think that, I mean, I don't know. I'm a man that was raised in this culture and I've had a lot of failures in dating. Just haven't done it well, I would say. And I didn't really know what I was supposed to be doing.
That's what I was saying. People don't say,
And I think that stopping and like really contemplating what is the expectation that what do I expect? And also like, what's the point of it? What's the point of dating?
Right.
What do I think it should be about? Is a moment I was finally ready for, I think. So if you're, I don't know, it's rewarding. I'm not saying the break itself is rewarding. It's not magic.
Right.
I think the contemplation is rewarding.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's interesting because I think the standard advice is like, well, just keep dating and then you'll figure out what you know. But that is not true for everyone.
I find that I repeat mistakes and I find that the other person and being attracted to them gets in the way of not only practical decision making, but of actually seeing who they are. It takes a little while to see who they are, you know?
Yeah.
And I think if I was better at that, I wouldn't be doing it the way I'm doing it.
That's interesting.
You know, I mean, and not like in a see all their flaws.
Oh, sure.
In fact,
right.
less of that, I think.
Yeah.
Less of seeing their flaws. You know, like that's not really the issue. Anyway, that's a long detour that we don't have to go all the way down that. But
No, I think that's
I've been thinking about that.
Uh-huh.
I'm more contemplative than I give myself credit for. Like things are going on in the back of my brain a
I
lot.
always thought you're very contemplative. Do you not feel that way?
No, because I don't actively do it.
Interesting.
Does that make sense? I don't actively, but
Yes.
with this issue, I've been actively doing it. You know?
Cool.
Yeah. But I find things have been bubbling in the back of my head a lot.
Yeah.
On like the moving thing has been bubbling in the back of my head. And the dating thing has been bubbling in like more in a conscious way.
Cool.
I don't know. Maybe maybe nothing will happen. Maybe
Right.
I'm ready for 8 swerves. I don't know.
Right. Well, the thing you asked me is like, how do you know you're ready for kids? And it is kind of just that like contemplative, quiet thinking away from, removed from, not having, not being thrust into being completely removed from it. I'm able to, just
Evaluate.
What
do I really want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I think is important. I think
Absolutely.
people easily, myself included, forget what they want, don't even think about what they want. It's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have a responsibility to the YouTube audience.
We do.
To get into the episode here, although I feel like we could have done an hour on that. But before we do any of that, it's time for us to do the thing that heroes always do, which is acknowledge. Yes. Put on the cape, please. Acknowledge the people who made them who they are.
Aww.
In our case, that's you, the Show Me producers.
That's you. We're
going to thank you in the order I see you, which is top to bottom.
Top to bottom, which is from the beginning to the end.
You're like, I don't know what that means.
Order.
Yeah. Here you are. Thank you. You make us who we are. You guys have contributed not only this topic today, but, our reason to live.
On the darkest days, absolutely.
Sometimes it's all we got. Getting out of the bed.
God, oh my
it's like,
God.
thank God for David Bryant.
Oh, thank God.
You saved a life today, sir.
Everything's gone wrong, but I feel like David. I hope David's having a good day. I have done that before. I was like, you know what? I'm having a shit day, but if any single one of my subscribers is having a good day, then
keeps you afloat.
Yeah, I'm fine.
There's a light in the dim.
We're connected in some sort of esoteric way.
The gloaming has receded. I love it so much. Thanks to Etienne Campion Mason. Wow. Now, I almost wrote this person to comment on the Patreon because I saw them say something. And I was like, tell me how to produce your name. And I realized that would be aggressive.
Yes.
So instead, I did it on the podcast.
Yeah. So now I did it in public.
Yeah. So my repentance was short-lived, as they say. Thanks to Math Demigod, the first thing I think now is this is our first AI subscriber.
Oh. You know what? If an AI is good at math, I don't mind. That seems like in their wheelhouse.
I also know, in my heart, we got to get on board with AI. I got to get on board with it because it's just going to I'm going to be instantly 100 years old if I'm like, AI is bad.
Oh, sure.
Like, I got to get on board with it. I'm
sure there are many helpful things.
There's no doubt. There's got to be. But like, I just don't want to be the guy who's like, cell phones, they're going to rot your brains. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
But AI does seem mostly negative to me right now. So I'm like trying to figure out.
I mean, they're writing scripts. That's a problem.
Like, I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't want to be. Thanks to Driftless.
Thank you, Driftless.
What do you think his real name is or her name?
Hank.
Totally Hank. Absolutely Hank. Yeah. Blue collar worker.
Do people name their kids Hank anymore?
No, it's an old fashioned name. I always think of a construction worker and I don't know why. Hank. Maybe because Hammer and Hank Aaron and hammering is construction. I don't know.
Hank from Breaking Bad.
Yeah. He's not really blue. Oh, is cop a blue collar job? Do we consider that?
No,
blue
but
collar?
They have the aesthetic of a blue collar job. It's a whole thing. They maintain the aesthetic.
Are you accusing Harry / Driftless of being a cop?
No, I would never.
All right. We don't want to insult the man.
No.
Yeah.
He's like an old timey sheriff that like the town came together and nominated, and he doesn't want it. He's like, no, I'm the bartender.
Reluctantly taking the tin.
Yes.
Yeah. That's who he is.
Yeah.
He's the reluctant hero.
We don't want to get shot at by the.
Yeah, he's the Clint Eastwood of his local town.
Yes.
Yeah, that's who he is. Solving problems with rival gangs. Like it.
Yeah.
We need those kind of heroes, and then we need to forget that they ever existed. Thanks to Evan Fineout.
Thank you, Evan Fineout.
Thanks to Maggie's favorite. So your favorite, in fact, so much that I'm going to let you say the name.
King Donna.
Thanks to King Donna.
Thank you.
Thanks to, I'm just going to go ahead and be honest with you, my favorite, Jeff Beef. I can't get over it.
I love it.
I don't know why. It just really warms me.
You don't have to get over it ever.
I'm not gonna. Thanks to Brock Berkner, Esquire.
Brock Esquire.
So many of our fans are lawyers.
Really?
You know why? Yeah.
Why?
Because we need it.
Yeah.
They're protecting us.
That is actually so sweet.
Yeah. Isn't
Yeah.
it? Thank you for foregoing your retainer.
Yeah, for taking my foot out of my mouth.
Yes. Legally
and keeping
speaking.
it there.
Yeah. Legally
Yes.
speaking. That's correct.
Yes.
Not physically because Tootsies taste good.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Maggie was thrilled by that.
Tootsie's good.
You want to thank our next producer?
Yes. Thank you, Luke Andrew.
Luke Andrew.
I love it.
Yeah.
A two-name name.
Yeah.
Two first name name.
It's really hard to think of a thing when your name is two first names.
I know, because it feels so definitive.
Right. It's like what can I add?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
What can I add to that?
Yeah.
You know, like unless you're a surfer or a skateboarder, I got no opinion on you.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Hang 10,
loose,
see around. Hang loose.
See around.
Okay, great. Thanks to Bro J.
Thanks, bro, Jay.
Yeah. Bro J, who's almost certainly a sentient vampire.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and by
Otherwise,
vampire I
nothing
mean
makes
the
sense.
monster kind.
Yeah.
You know, most
Is
of them
there
aren't
not
people. Most of them are not people. Most vampires are like just giant overgrown creatures.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like bats. Vampire bats.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
This, Bro J is is on the path toward
Right.
evolving to be a human.
Right. He lives with the bats, but,
Correct.
Yes,
but he's grown
can walk up.
sentience.
Yes.
He's a terrifying reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's another problem
But
in
I'm
10 years.
I'm more on board with that than AI. So
We
again,
prefer Bro J to AI. That's our
Yeah.
official stance. I agree with that. And for now, we'll conclude this round of thank yous with our mutual, second favorite, I think.
sure. Yeah.
Dave Ruff.
Rough.
Yeah.
Who is a dog?
That's all we're giving you.
Okay.
That's all you get, sir.
That's all you get.
We're real professional podcasters.
Whee!
Okay, so today's topic, and it's only been 31 minutes, Becky. We're great at this. This is movies that we'd remake? Is that what we said?
Yes.
The movie you'd remake. Now, by the way, this was a landslide victory.
Oh, interesting.
It won the poll by like 5 times the next one. Yeah.
Probably. Oh, interesting.
Guess whose idea it was?
Who?
Yours.
Ah,
It always is.
well. The thing is, though, I never know if it's actually my idea or if it is an idea that you have said in the past that I'm just regurgitating as my new idea.
No. I'm not going to take any of your credit away. I'm going to give you all the credit, like a glorious crown, and make you wear it.
I think the real question for me was I going to pick a bad movie that would be fun to redo because I could make it good?
That's the question.
Or do you pick a good movie because
that is the question.
Right.
So now I'm going to tell you, this time I did put a lot of thought into it.
Oh, cool.
More than I normally do.
Ooh, I'm very excited.
And I was really thrilled by your pick because I was surprised by it.
Oh.
And we'll talk about why in a minute. So do you want to, I believe it's your turn to pick.
Who goes first?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of want to do a Stepford Wives first, just because it's so curious.
Of course you did.
And you had never seen it, so
I'd never seen any of the film versions of Stepford Wives.
Yes.
So the one we are talking about is the first film version.
Yes.
Stepford Wives, 1975.
1975.
With Catherine Ross.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a fantastic cast.
What a star.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Also, Ginger from Gilligan's Island was in this.
Yes.
That really did it for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Loved it. So do you want to summarize it for us?
Sure. Yes. So this is a film classic. It is based off the book, also called Stepford Wives. It is about a wife and her family, and they move to Stepford.
They moved from New York.
From New York to Stepford.
Yeah.
The wife is a photographer. It's kind of like in the 70s. After the sexual revolution, obviously, but like in the aftermath of. You look confused. Am I wrong?
No, I'm not. I'm just I'm waiting to see how you describe her because I think that's a key element to this movie.
Ooh, okay.
I don't disagree with anything you said. I'm just curious.
I mean, I guess if we're like a 70s feminist,
she describes herself as
stepping.
That's right.
Yes.
She describes herself as having fooled around with women's lib.
Yes.
So she's sentimental about that.
Right.
But I would not call her a feminist.
I wouldn't. Yes.
In the classic sense of that word.
Right. She was curious, but also she is a wife and, she has 2 kids. And you can tell she's nervous about moving away from New York.
Yeah, New York felt comfortable for her.
Yes.
And that's a key ingredient too.
Yes.
Yeah.
New York offered maybe some freedom. It definitely offered her chances for her career. Again, she, wants to be a photographer, which is a creative field. So it's kind of like, well, you're a mom first though, and you are kind of just taking photos.
It wasn't clear from the movie if she was making money at that. It didn't seem like she was.
Yes.
It seemed like she was effectively a homemaker by trade, even in New York.
Yes.
But New York was more culturally her.
Yes.
That's what I got from that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And had more friends, more, connection to the
Who we never
area.
met.
Who we never met.
Never met a single friend.
No.
Because that's one thing about the concept of Stepford Wives that's a little strange, that nobody ever has a friend that reaches out or anything.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
So anyways, they moved to this town, and it is just... well, as her husband describes it, it's perfect.
It's idyllic.
It's idyllic.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy. The wives are all homemakers and have lovely, lush homes and gardens. The men are all part of a men's club that meets and stuff for.
And by the way, they're just a bunch of goons. Like the men are such goons.
Oh my God.
They really are.
They are.
That's not a critique of the movie. I think it's intentional.
Yeah.
It's more that just like when you look at it, there's like a little grimace, like none of these dudes are impressive in any way.
In any way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually think that matters.
I think so
that they're
too.
not.
Yeah.
They're not like Wall Street guys who moved out to retire. That's not who they are.
You can tell that they all have a little bit something to prove about that.
Yeah, they're all. This is not a term I like, so maybe I won't use it. None of them are the hard chargers. There's one or two that are successful. Yeah, it's like another way of saying alphas,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
None of those guys seem like they're running their company or whatever, even though they are supposedly.
Right.
But they don't seem like it.
Right.
Right.
I think that is relevant to their feelings about their
I agree.
self-reflection.
I actually think it makes them seem more like average men.
Yes.
Which
I think
is important.
Very important.
Yeah.
And to that point, I feel like all the families, they feel like the most average when they come in. They are still they're new to this lifestyle, this town,
I would say that her family is average. She is not average.
Yes.
That's probably the real problem of the movie for her. Is that she's not very average.
Right.
She's a little too smart and she's a little too and I don't want to say too much. She's too smart to fit in here.
Yes.
Even if they weren't doing all the stuff they were doing, I don't think she'd fit in that way.
Right.
Culturally.
Right.
Like she just doesn't, She doesn't fit.
Yeah, she doesn't fit. And she feels that immediately when she moves there.
Yeah.
Feels very uncomfortable from the get-go. And starts to think that they made a mistake, wants to move back to New York. She does eventually meet a friend who is much more like her.
Who has a husband, I guess.
Yes.
She came a little out of nowhere.
Yes.
I was like, where's the husband in this?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Busy working, I guess, presumably.
Well, he exists. That becomes clear later.
Yes.
But she felt like she was the single friend in Stepford.
Yeah.
And for a little bit, I was confused about that.
Right. There's a little bit of a queer reading of it, of like, these two gals.
It really felt like it.
Where's my husband? I don't know. Yes.
It did feel like that. Yeah.
But yeah, she finds someone that is a little more her speed, a little more, sardonic.
Sardonic.
Yes.
Yep, perfect word.
Has a point of view about the other women who just seem so off. Seem so happy to be doing things that they're clearly not happy doing.
Yeah. Well, can you describe what is wrong with the other wives? I want to hear how you describe it. Do you mind?
Yes.
Okay.
Unrealistically overwhelmingly positively subservient to their male counterparts.
Yeah, they're content with a life that's purely about maintaining a nice home, raising the children, meeting their husband's needs.
Yes.
They're content with that.
Yes. I would see even like more than like they
revel in that. They take joy in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
They have no inner struggles.
Yes. That's also what is, it is almost as if they have erased the second dimension of like a two-dimensional person.
That's right.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
There's other key ingredients too that sort of be crystallized for me as the movie went on. Do you mind if I?
Oh, please.
One of them is, they all have bigger breasts.
Yes.
A thing that I didn't realize it was that it mattered until like I thought it was like sort of a passing comment.
Right.
But then the end of the film made it very clear to me, oh, the bigger breasts matter.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
They're not bigger like in a way that felt like implanty.
Right.
They're bigger in this artificial way that seemed like it was about the clothes they're wearing because the clothes are outdated and stuff.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the main character, she's the quintessential she's like got the what do you call it? Like flapper body where it's like flatter chest, kind of lanky, long hair.
And I thought for a little bit that was like that was supposed to be chic. Like she was supposed to be like kind of hip and chic.
Right.
But now in hindsight, having watched the whole movie, they actually are doing something with her chest.
Yes.
Which I didn't realize until because I thought it was like, man, 70s, like they're making some choices.
Totally. Yeah.
They're not though. So that was interesting. Another thing that stood out to me about it is they constantly go back to doing commercials.
Yes.
They do commercials all the time for various cleaning products or clothes or whatever.
Yes. Like in the Truman Show.
Yes.
That moment where she starts doing a commercial, that Stepford Wives.
Well, and it's so interesting because so do we want to spoil the twist of the movie?
I was going to ask you that.
Well, and we have to, I think, in order to talk about this.
Yes, it's an old movie, so.
And also, it's been remade 5 times. Which is why I wanted to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
So the twist is they're not people.
No.
They're really, really well-made robots, a la Disney.
Yes, literally. Guy who used to work at Disney now lives in Stepford, so makes animatronics.
Yeah, they're animatronic wives, which is not what I did not know that's the twist of Stepford Wives.
Oh, really?
I thought they were being brainwashed.
Sure.
That's what I thought, which is a theory they introduced in the middle of the movie. And I was like, so we're going to find out they're being brainwashed. No, they're being literally replaced.
Yeah.
And that's interesting.
Yeah.
So like, here's what the robots are like. So they're not 70s feeling, they're 50s feeling. That's one thing. Like they dress from the 50s. They have the bobs from that time period. So they're out of time. They have bigger boobs. They do commercials all the time. They glitch out the way that animatronic people do, which in hindsight, pretty cool. It's a cool idea. And they are sexually satisfied with their male counterparts.
Yes,
that's a thing.
Very funny. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're incapable of having any kind of dialogue that brings them that you'd be associated with humanity, like emotionally human.
Yes. No self. No inner wants or needs that are not just pleasing to everyone. Yeah.
Right. I find it interesting the kind of women that these men want.
Isn't it always?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually the satire of it, I think, is what it's more than what they're doing to their wives, which is a great concept.
Right.
It's what they want their wives to be.
Yes.
That I find fascinating.
The sex is great.
Yep.
Love cleaning.
Yeah.
Just do that.
The commercials in particular and the boobs in particular really stood out to me as like, what an interesting idea about what men want.
Yeah.
Like they want a woman who's obsessed with their work.
Yes.
But their work fits perfectly into a man's world.
Yeah.
But they're obsessed with their work. Like they're passionate about it.
They're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And it's because they still want them to be people, but just in a way that completely works with exactly what they want to be.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And, I guess, and this is maybe why I introduced this dating conversation earlier, because I think it's a completely accurate satire of the way men are. To this day, I think still.
It's
it's timeless in that way.
Timeless.
I don't know that if you satired today's men, they would come up with that version of what they want wives to be.
Nah.
But the underlying thing, like more sexually satisfied, more sexually attractive.
Right. And why can't you just want the thing that makes it easy for me to want? Yeah.
Yes. That seems true.
Yeah.
That seems really true. That I found interesting. And I think as a man, we should all contemplate that a little bit. I think we should all think about it a little bit because I don't think they're wrong. I think men do expect that of women.
Oh, definitely. As a woman, I know men expect that. Yeah. I mean, that's why women do feel a lot of pressure to conform to their partners. Like what their partners want, there's a lot of pressure to just do that.
Where does it come from? I'm not saying how does it happen. I'm saying where do you think it comes from?
Just I think, well, one, the societal reinforcement that male is better and feminine is lesser. So just the inherent, well, if it's better, then they're right. Well, if it's right, then they're better. Kind of a,
there's
inherent,
a loop there.
Yeah, it's a loop.
There's a logic loop there.
There's a lot of logic loops. There's that.
Please don't hear me arguing. I just want to, I actually want details if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
So like, can you give me some examples of how that happens?
Yes. There is a stereotype, which is also true, but it's also, I mean, I think everyone is this way, but being indecisive.
Yep.
Like, women, why can't you just pick, the movie that we want to go to?
Right.
Or pick a movie. It can be actually very hard for women to know what they want and say what they want and express what they want because the feeling is them not being angry is more important than what I want. Them being satisfied is more important than what movie I want,
Do you think that, so like I have this, I'm gonna try this a different way. I like what you said. I'm just like trying to get to.
This is fun. So
okay, good.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to get to like a.
Yes.
I'm trying to get some questions that to me would reinforce what your remake would be.
Ooh, okay.
So like one of them is, do you think that if you extracted women from this culture,
yes,
and you put them in a culture that was, let's say, idyllically equal, that there would be any of that in it? Like any of that pressure. So you think the pressure is entirely external? Or entirely being put by society / men?
It is a large part in that.
Okay.
But I think in an egalitarian society, I think we'll all feel like, well, maybe in this moment your feelings do matter more than mine because you're having a bad day.
So more people would feel that way. Like everybody would feel that way a little bit.
Yes. I think everyone would feel that way.
Often.
Yes. Or it'd be more of a discussion rather than an expectation that one set of people give up their wants for another set of people.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah. Because it's a very natural human thing to want to have other people be happy.
That's what's tricky about this concept of as a movie is that like it does play into a thing that's naturally human and twists it.
Right.
And part of what makes this movie interesting is I think for a pretty long portion of it, you're not sure if she might just be wrong. Like I know she's not wrong because I know what happens in the movie. But I can imagine an audience in 1975 having opinions about this woman.
Totally.
Like I think they make her not entirely likable.
Yes. Well, I mean, her
for that culture
wanting to move back to New York and like, seemingly like willing to like take the kids away from her husband, like
they're very carefully pushing buttons for her to be. To me, I found her very sympathetic, but I live in 2023. I'm trying to imagine in 1975. I feel like she was a little bit of a divisive character, maybe.
Oh, I think
time.
so.
Is that
sure.
right? Okay.
I think so. Yeah. Although I do think she was expressing a thing that especially young women. Like that is a very,
of course.
yes.
Right. Well, it doesn't work if you don't have that. If she's not expressing a viewpoint that people feel, it doesn't work. But she's also a character that's constructed very carefully to not all seem instantly credible.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they're almost doing the opposite of Save the Cat with her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did you feel like that? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I mean, I think the first time I saw it, I didn't so much pick up on that because, you know, she looks like a cool girl. So like,
she absolutely does. Yeah.
You know, it was easy to get behind her. But looking at it from that lens, also, do you know the inspiration for the story
novel
that it's based off of?
It's based on a short story or something, right?
Yes. Yeah.
No.
So it is based off of the drugs that they used to give women.
Yep. Maybe this is why I thought they were brainwashed.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's about all the things, you know, that we've been talking about, but the impetus of the idea for Stepford Wives was the heavy narcotics that they would prescribe to women who felt unsatisfied in the home.
Right.
They would just give them...
Let's just get you high, babe.
Yeah. Get you fucking high on these medications that actually did terrible things to women's bodies. And you're not supposed to have kids on the drugs.
Sounds very Freudian, really. You know, like, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Well, society isn't wrong. You just need to stop using your brain. We need to fry it. So then you're happy.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think that the movie needs... So I just want to make something clear so people don't come at me with this. This is a great movie, and I really like the story and what it's trying to say. I like all those things.
Yeah.
The reason I'm picking on the protagonist's likability is not because I don't think she's likable. It's because I think the movie is trying to poke at us with that. That's part of the satire of the movie, I think, or I'm trying to reconstruct it. By today's standards, she's like a completely sympathetic character because society's shifted a lot on these issues.
Yeah.
But I think the movie's trying to make us not sure whether we agree with her or not. Right? No, I'm not sure if we totally agree with her for a while.
Right. I guess it's too hard for me to...
It's hard to extricate.
Read it from that mindset.
What about the sex part of it? Like, so there's that moment, the husband wants to have sex with her a couple of times.
Yeah.
And she definitely puts him off.
Yeah.
And they don't give us much context for that. Like, she just kind of says no in a way. It's like, well, I'm busy and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to figure out in my mind, what are they saying with that?
We're supposed to be like, wait, but why don't you?
Right. Do you not do you not like him? Or like, is there a problem here? Like you're trying to get what it means.
Oh, interesting.
You know, does that, so I'm very male. So I'm like, I might not be understanding it.
I think that's so interesting. Cause I think from a woman's perspective, sometimes just saying no to sex feels
just
good.
Matter of fact.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's just no. And it feels good that this is literally the one thing that you actually like have to listen to me to. Otherwise I can call the police.
Completely.
Yeah.
Do you think it's being used like that? Do you think that's why they put it in the movie? I mean, I know why it matters later. It's a setup for later.
Right. I think it is for both. Because I think for some people it'd be like, but wait, why doesn't she? And I think for some people it'd be like, oh, it's because she's gay with her friend. And I think some people will be like,
right. So that leads into a question I really wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
And so my question is, if you're going to remake this, you decided you wanted to remake it.
Yes.
And it's been remade a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So it's not like we haven't heard it.
Right.
What is it you want to say?
Would you like to hear my pitch?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm.
Okay.
Yes.
So it is I did choose this, so it's not a straight direct.
I assumed it wouldn't be because
good.
That's where I would have been like, I don't know if we need this.
Yes.
That's what made me so curious about it.
Okay. So my interpretation of how to do this now, because again, the topics are still very relevant, but I would set it in a high school. It's about teenage girls at an all-girls school who are growing up in Stepford.
Is it private school?
Yes, absolutely. Private school,
gates,
Catholic. Yes,
got it.
Catholic private school, absolutely.
Got it.
And it is about the teenage girls realizing that they are being raised by robots, but that is their fate. Now they're humans, but they're about to turn 16. They're about to get their periods. They, have their very first mixer with, both genders from the boys' school, going over, Sadie Hawkins, whatever. And they start realizing what they have been set up for if they don't escape.
So what does it mean to be a robot as an adult in this movie? I'm curious about that.
Ooh, I think to me, having
like to have no hopes left, to have your dreams be destroyed.
Right. Or having your identity taken away.
What is it about adulthood that takes your identity away?
The men in your lives.
So is it about sexuality? Is it about heterosexuality?
Yes. It's so because the boys in the town, they're fucking
so all the women are going to be robots.
Yes, all
eventually.
the women will be made.
See.
Yes.
Got it,
all the women are their fate is to become robots for these stinky, disgusting teenage boys that they're hanging out with.
Raising robot women.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I like that idea.
Yeah,
that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The kids are an interesting obstacle that they're only really there as an obstacle in the movie.
Yes.
They don't seem to pick up on anything.
Right. But it's like, oh my God, they would have to go to school. Oh my God, the girls would have to eventually learn that they're going to be killed and turned into a robot.
Right.
And the boys are eventually going to have to join this man's club where...
the men are going to... the boys eventually have to sign up for this.
Yes.
Like they all have to say, I want a robot wife.
Yeah, I want a robot wife.
I'm not sure they all would.
I don't think so either.
Some would,
but some would not. Some would join the teenage girls to get out of there.
That's right.
Some are gay and feel like they can't.
That to me, I that's where I thought maybe you were going to go with this.
Yes,
it's sort of like Stepford is heterosexual.
Well, that absolutely,
okay,
absolutely
interesting.
The main girl I would definitely make,
bisexual or whatever. Yeah,
but I think there's so much there to play with.
Totally,
I was
completely. So. What's interesting to me about that version compared to Stepford Wives in the past is, and I might be wrong about this, I think that Stepford Wives in the past was provocative in the sense that it didn't think everybody that watched it agreed with them.
Right.
I think that's what the filmmakers are trying to do. That's why I was bringing up her likability. I think they were carefully tracing a line where some movie audience might be like, what's so wrong with these women liking this?
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's what they're trying to do. I don't know if they're doing it. Like, cause there was times I was like, I was confused because it was hard to put myself in that audience's mind.
I think it is bringing up like the commercial. I think it is very like over the top enough that
part is.
Yes.
It takes a while for that to emerge, though.
I think that is,
that's
that is right. Or it's like it's drawing
you
in.
Yes.
They want you to think it's a real idyllic, that you would maybe want to live.
Correct. They're actually bringing up the gender roles conversation on its face for a while is what I'm getting at.
Right.
And eventually settling on one side of it. In I think the commercials and there's some other parts that are like, that's where they really take a stance.
Yeah.
But part of what makes it work is that you're not totally sure that you think what she sees is bad for a while, or what I mean by that is I guess that she's right. You're not totally sure
they
she's
hold
right.
The cards
for a while,
a
very long time.
Yeah, I don't. It's almost like if it was a shape, it'd be like
right. So for the listener, she just did a bell curve with a very steep incline.
Yes.
Yeah. So I say that, I'm not even sure that's the right thing. I think your version in today's audience would never feel like that's too strong. I think it would assume you agreed with it early on.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Although I would do my best to write it as if it feels modern. Like when I was a young girl, everyone told me girl power, girls can be anything, girls can do anything, which I believe, and it is true. So like I didn't necessarily have the people telling me to my face that women are fucking awful which like I did, but there was also the counterbalance of, there had been a couple feminist movements at that point,
Right, that's right. Yeah.
So like, it didn't feel totally out of the water, but now in retrospect, it's a lot of the like, okay, sure. But also, every woman my age had an eating disorder because every woman needed to be skinny because there still was actually this only slice of womanhood that you're allowed to enjoy. Otherwise you're doing it wrong.
That's
Otherwise, yes. So it's like, yeah. So I would try to make it as modern as possible where these women feel, like
there isn't a thing here.
Right. There isn't a thing here. I feel empowered. This feels fine. This is great. Which is also mimics
so you use empowerment as a disguise.
Yeah.
Empowerment is a disguise.
Yes, as
it would need
a lot
to be.
of things do.
Yeah. Well, that's where, like to use a very crass metaphor, that's where the woman who helped Epstein fits in, right?
Oh, exactly.
That kind of figure.
Yes. Or even like the girl boss who is perpetuating all the terrible things that were done to her, but it's fine now because it's me doing it, know?
Right.
Which is, that's very human.
Absolutely. When I watched it and thought about a remake, I have a little pitch on this, if that's okay.
God, I love it. Yes.
I thought there were two movies that made sense. One of them is that it's now about heterosexuality. I think that movie
definitely,
like that movie makes sense.
Yes.
I think you could do it right now. If you really wanted to go ballsy, you'd make it about trans issues because I think you could.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think,
absolutely.
But it's really hard to do it well. But that would make it work.
But set it in high school, and suddenly you have
Yep. I think I think those issues might be contentious now the way that this would have been in the 70s.
Absolutely. Yes.
And that's what makes it good.
Yes. And it's all connected and intersectional.
Exactly.
Exactly. But yes, that is how you modernize, give that bite.
Yes. Well, there was one other version of it that I thought might actually really work.
Ooh.
And that is if you do it at a company and it's a workforce. It's like the firm.
Yeah.
It's like the Stepford firm.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's all happening, but it's happening in a workplace.
Yes.
So it's not really about gender roles at home versus working.
Right.
It's
within
about
the work.
within the workplace. This is where
you
they're trying to
belong.
create submissive women.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That feels like it would work, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would just be up to taste. You want to set your film in a work?
I mean, I could never make this movie because I'm the wrong person. I'm the wrong person, and I shouldn't make it. But I feel like those two areas, the commentary fits still.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
I mean, not that it doesn't fit overall.
Right.
But it would feel more contemporary.
Right. I mean, I'm sure some people still feel stuck at home, but like hopefully most people don't feel
no doubt
that way.
I think if I had to voice what I think our culture would say about gender roles at home, I think it would say.
Well, the data still shows.
Either of them
we would say yes.
Either role is fine.
Right.
That's what we would say.
Yeah. You can't look up the stats and it's not.
It's not true. No.
Right, but that's what we would say. Yeah, we would think, well, of course it's equal.
Well, or that both
practice.
lives are acceptable.
Oh, yes. Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But maybe that does, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where the bite is there. There's a bite on this issue. I just don't know where you put it to make it really work.
Well, I think it is at the end of the day, it is conformity. Like women conform to this because it serves me. Right. You conform to heterosexuality because it serves, know. So yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes.
To me. Heterosexuality serving a goal.
Absolutely.
Is interesting to me.
It's all the same iceberg.
And I'm only saying this not so much as like what is like philosophically, what should we do? But just like, what is the satire of this in contemporary culture?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. I also do like the idea of realizing that you're in Stepford Wives as a metaphor for like being told that women are awesome and great and then growing up and being like, oh, but you hate us in every other way. Great.
I think there's a really interesting Stepford remake where Stepford Wives is a concept that exists in the world. Like it's one of those zombie movies where they know what zombies are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that if somebody could do that well, I would be interested in that movie. It's still a pretty good movie, the 70s one.
Oh, it's so good.
It's a little slow.
But it's got,
it's very subtle It's a very subtle film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love the look of 70s films.
Yeah, that glossy available light thing. Yeah. It's one of the cool horror films from that time. There were a few.
Yeah.
There were a few. Ready to switch it over?
Let's switch it.
Okay. All right. So my pick was a little known film from 1976 called Network.
Our films kind of came from
a year later. Mine was a year later.
Wow.
Network.
Yes.
Network is one of the best films ever made. I love it. And I don't think that's hyperbole. I really think.
I don't think so either.
If you haven't watched it, because it's like, why would I watch that? Like it's a 70s movie about TV. Who cares? Man, you need to watch it. It is a triumph.
Great double feature of these two movies together.
I watched them both this morning.
Oh, hey.
And I enjoyed that very much. It's also a satire, interestingly. So we both picked satires. That was kind of fun. It's by Sidney Lumet, who, if you know me, you know is sneaky one of my favorite directors.
Ooh.
Love Sidney Lumet. He's made so many films that are great.
Yeah.
He made a film in his 80s called Before the Devil Knows You're Dead.
Oh my God.
With Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ethan Hawke.
Oh my God.
That movie rips your guts out. You can't believe somebody in their 80s made it. You cannot believe it.
Wow.
You just can't. It's like, wow. He made 12 Angry Men.
Yeah. Yes.
Ever heard of it?
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
That's also one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, he made The Witness. He's made a lot of cool movies. In fact, he made a noir film I watched last week for a different thing that was called Prince of the City with Treat Williams.
Oh, what
it's kind of fun. It's a weird cop movie in the 80s, early 80s. Okay, so Network, I'm going to do a brief summary of it. It takes place at the worst television network of the major syndicated networks, which is a fiction one. It's like UBS, I want to say. And it starts with their news division. Their anchor has sagging ratings, so they can him. Okay, so the movie starts. This guy gets canned. He and his friend, who's also his boss and head of the news network, have some drinks, and he says, "I'm going to kill myself." Right, and his friend laughs it off because they're old, cynical bastards. Yeah. So the next day he goes on live. He has 2 more weeks left. Insane. They fired him and they kept him on for 2 weeks.
Yeah, they just got rid of Tucker Carlson. They didn't even give him.
So that's what's cool about this. Yes. Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon both lost their jobs like a couple days ago. Yeah. So like that might factor into this a little bit. So but it wasn't part of the plan. It just happens to. So they let him back on the air because he's going to close out his tenure or whatever. And he says on the air, I'm going to kill myself next week. Right. And there's this scuttlebutt, and you start to get some of the inner workings of the network where there's these younger people who represent a parent company who are so driven by money and by revenue and ratings that they're like, they're trying to kill all the traditional norms. Yeah. What a news show's supposed to be. What are the programming requirements, right? And they announce while they're like, ripping apart William Goldman's character, whose name flew right out of my head. William Holden, William Holden's character, who's Max is his name. Max. He's our main character basically. And the network tells him, hey, we're taking over your news show, basically. And, there's infighting and stuff. And they say that basically through a confluence of events, our main character puts his anchor friend back on the air in spite because he's mad about that. Yeah. And the anchor goes into this trance and says that he's tired of all the bullshit. Just tired of the bullshit. I have nothing more to say. I'm just tired of the bullshit. And of course the ratings spike through the roof. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And it's incredible. So then what ensues is these maniacs from this parent company who are, I think the fairest way to describe them is completely amoral. Yes. They don't care about anything other than money. Put this guy on the air. The guy has legitimately lost his mind. Okay, like he is clinically insane, I think. He believes he's a prophet. He believes he's, a harbinger of the end times.
Yep.
He's saying horrifying things and he's getting incredible ratings.
Yep.
It's almost like The Producers.
Yes.
It's a similar idea to that.
Absolutely.
And meanwhile, our main character is trying to fight this because he's like, this is the wrong thing to do.
Right.
What are you doing? And they fire him.
Yeah.
And he starts an affair with this young woman who's the head of programming, who is like played by Faye Dunaway. She's amazing. She's also terrifying.
Yes.
Like she wants to put a legitimate terrorist group on television to get ratings.
Because we will watch it.
She
problem?
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
She doesn't believe in fucking anything.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's absolutely amazing. So the thing you've probably seen from Network, if you've seen this movie or have heard of it, is one of the things that this prophet guy says is, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Mm-hmm. And he does it in this incredible rant where he's like, I only have this one message. And the message is, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. And it becomes this catchphrase for the whole fucking show. Things get worse and worse and worse. This is a snake eating its tail. It's horrifying and incredible.
Yeah.
You need to see it. It's a masterpiece of inside baseball satire about the entertainment industry, but also I think human nature.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
and again, a movie that is could have been made yesterday. Like,
it really feels contemporary.
Yeah.
It doesn't look contemporary, but the way people think and the kinds of characters there are, and the kind of meta writing in it feels very, very contemporary.
Yeah.
It's striking. Also, there's some cool ass actors in it.
Yeah.
William Holden was in Sunset Boulevard.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was the lead in Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, wow.
They just get some rad actors in it. Robert Duvall when he's
They're like,
young.
We know you all hate this too. Come on in. Yeah.
Faye Dunaway is crushing it in here.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. There's a lot of old actors having a great swan song in this movie. There's Academy Awards for a lot of actors that were from a previous generation because I think it was really smart satire.
Yeah.
What did you think of it? You've seen it before, I assume.
I've seen it before.
Okay.
I love it. It is also one of my favorite movies. Yeah. So relevant.
I think it's in my top 10.
It's
I really
in my
do.
top
I
10.
think it's astounding.
Yeah.
It really is astounding. So I guess I don't want to go on and on because if you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah,
I'd rather you have the experience. It's also just really well made.
Yeah.
There's great sort of like religious metaphors that are being used intelligently here.
Yes. Yeah.
It's cool.
There's a lot to a rich text. Lots to sink your teeth into.
It has many readings. It has many readings. Now, the reading that I'm most interested in for our purposes,
the remake
is it came right after Nixon was impeached and resigned from office, and Watergate was definitely in the background of this show
for sure.
Where I think the structure of society had, like, the emperor had no clothes, and I think everybody saw that. Yeah. And this movie feels like a response to it. Yeah. Like sort
emperor
of
has no clothes and we're going to report it.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, something like Titanic has happened here. Here's what happens when you gamify all the rest. Yeah. You know, where like we are just sort of greedy and there are no morals and traditions don't matter. So I say that because I think Network could only have existed after Nixon.
Oh, definitely.
And I think that matters. I don't know when they wrote the script, but I feel like the power of it is in part because of that time period.
For sure. Especially as an audience watching it. Because again, it is like insider baseball-y. You would get a lot out of it. But with the context of that, it's like, oh yeah, all of us know that this is, you know.
Yeah, this is what it is. Right. We're at the right time for another network. Yeah. I think that we're living in a media saturated era where the rules about what is parody are gone. Yeah. Like the structures that held up meaning, like this is considered parody, this isn't. Gone. The structures that are like, this has value because of tradition's sake, like even things like Twitter. Yes. Twitter is in a way a traditionalist institution. Right. It rewards people who are clever and witty and say the extreme thing. And we're at a moment where that's being unraveled by a person who has the money to do that. Yeah. for lols.
Yeah.
You know, like, and there's a lot of stuff that's being done for memes or aggression, right? Like just to put your stamp on the world.
Yeah.
And there was a great line in the Stepford Wives movie where they asked the character, Catherine Ross's character, what do you want? And she said she wanted to be remembered.
Yeah.
I think that is what is at the bottom of a lot of what we see in media and in our entertainment now. I want to be seen. I want to be remembered. And I think there's a network to be made about that. And I think, I mean, I don't want to spoil some of the things I'm working on. I think one of the ideas that would be a perfect place for network to be redone is internet content.
Yes.
Like, I think there's a BuzzFeed movie or film or show or something.
Yes.
Where the absurdity of it is in part that like they continue to replace ownership.
Yeah.
A thing that doesn't happen in network, but it really, really happens in media now.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You know, this owns this, then owns this, like the monopoly thing.
Yes. Yes.
You know, where like suddenly everything is off limits. So everything becomes very sanitized.
Absolutely.
That's a thing that's interesting. The desperate need to please an algorithm that no one controls or understands.
Yeah. That is in here. That is in AI.
Yes, that's a new thing in entertainment. See, before ratings were driven in a linear way where people were guessing at what people wanted, created what they wanted, and then people watched it. Algorithms are in a way determining what people want.
Yes.
Because they're squeezing in and out content.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
we
like
now have reports of like, these are the 3 types of movies that you are allowed to write that will get made.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And also for consumers of entertainment, it's possible now to curate entertainment to your specific taste, which means being challenged is increasingly difficult.
Yeah.
It's really hard to be challenged at the cinema or in television now. You have to be open to that.
Yeah.
And most of us aren't.
I know.
And most of us are getting less open to that as time goes on.
Which is wild.
Well,
I mean, we know why, I guess, but it is like, I think when I first fell in love with movies, because they are that
movies changed my ability to empathize with groups of people that were not me.
Absolutely.
And they still do. That's why I'm in it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in it to understand other people and myself.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I am in this for.
Yeah.
You know, not just to say what I think, but to see what another life is like. It's both things. I mean, but also I'm sympathetic to people not wanting to be challenged because I don't want to hear from Nazis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
And I also don't want to hear from people who only respond to Nazis. I don't want to hear from either of those groups of people.
Right.
And the algorithm has a way of sort of extremifying everything in your feed.
Yeah.
Right. And by your feed, I don't just mean on Twitter or on your social media site.
Literally what gets to you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Everything in life that channels to you. You know, and I think there's a network to be made about that. I don't know that I'm the right guy to write it. I think there's a lot to be done, and it
You're
requires
certainly
a lot.
the right guy to direct it. I mean,
there's Cody and I are working on a show that I think might fit that, but I think Network was brilliant because it was, in a way, it was like the first Gen X movie.
Yeah.
Even though nobody was Gen X in it.
That's a great way to put it.
But in a way, it was.
Yeah.
It's the first time that the value of like fuck the man, nothing is real.
Right.
Like disruption is the thing.
Yes.
Where you saw that in a story. You know, and like they went with it.
Right.
We need a version that is a response to the unraveling of that worldview.
Right. And the film
the
gets into a
commodification of it.
commodification, but this is like on steroids.
Right.
That yes.
It may like after watching Network many times, I felt like, how do you even take this further? But now it's very clear to me that there are places to take it further.
Yeah.
And I say this without being, you know, I really believe it all stems back to the environment that created Trump.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Trump is a landmark for meaning.
Yes.
That Nixon was.
Yes.
For this film.
I have a documentary.
I'm ready
for you to watch.
I'm interested.
You will recognize the director, but I can't come up with it right now. But it's hyperrealism. But it is basically what you described. And he does it in a very filmatic way. But
sounds cool.
You should watch it.
I should watch it.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know that doing the tropes of network is what I even mean.
Oh,
like,
sure.
I don't even mean doing network again. I mean
the zeitgeist of it.
The attitude of network and the looking at that phenomenon of network, we need it again.
We do.
We're ready for it again.
People want that.
I think network now would be an organization of meaning instead of an undercutting of meaning.
Yes.
And that would be in its own way transgressive.
Yeah. I mean, recreating meaning out of what they want to be a meaningless stream of. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like sort of an anti-Dr. Malcolm. You know what I mean? Like the fractals are spiraling this way, but I have found a pattern in them.
Yeah.
You know? I think and I know that nobody ever gets hard for what about order and good rules and stuff.
Oh, sure. But also
meaning still matters.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there is a desperate how are you supposed to extract meaning? Yeah. When it I'm just repeating myself.
No, you're right though. But we need it. Also meaning's not enough if it's just mine.
Oh, of course it's not. Yes.
Right. That's a thing that I don't think we all agree with, but you really have to think about it. Like if meaning is just mine, it's not enough.
Right.
Because then it isn't really meaning.
Right.
There's something about needing other people to be in on it.
Yes.
For it to mean something.
Yes.
I mean, that's what this whole podcast is predicated on, but.
That's true. But it is literally true of I can't hold meaning on my own in my, I guess in a way I can, but it's like vapor.
Yeah.
But when I share meaning with other people, it's a piece of cake.
And it sticks with you.
Yeah.
And there's a network to be made that, this is very philosophical, but that analyzes the phenomenon of all structures being shifting sand and yet finds the thing that transcends it. Yeah. And I don't know if that thing is virality or what you might call it, but it's something.
Right. But I mean, think of how many modes of medium that we have, even in our short little bloop, so many modes of medium. What is the commonality of meaning? How do you extract, what is...
That's really the question.
That's the question.
That is the question.
That's the question.
I really think it's probably going to be driven around clickbait. I think clickbait is the right place to start for a network in 2023.
Yeah.
I do.
Gotta drive traffic. Gotta.
Yeah. I mean, because that's the aggregator of meaning now for all media creators. Yeah. Their
bosses tell them. Yeah.
Well, everyone's boss tells them.
Absolutely.
I mean, having been fired over that, that's what it is, Okay. Well, that's network.
Well, if any producers are listening, want to give us
you want to hear my pitch?
hot mil, join the Patreon. Then you can message us.
That's right.
To give us millions of dollars.
Not until then.
Yeah.
Then we just accept millions, but no comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No comments.
That's right.
Yeah.
We still have a number of producers to thank.
We do.
So I'm going to kick that off by thanking Melissa, who refuses to be called Missy. Refuses.
Ooh,
not into
I
Missy.
Love it. Okay.
Not refuse to be a Missy.
Melissa.
Yeah. She said, I'll destroy you. Yeah. There were threats.
I love people having strong opinions on what to be called because we ask for
said, I'm not a Missy. And then she was like, you watch what happens if you call me that again. Nice. I like the intensity of that.
Kind of want to do it to get beat up, but I won't. I will respect.
Getting beat up, if it's not real bad, kind of sounds fun sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I went.
It's want to being a food fight.
Yeah, I fought in a war, bro. Have you never gotten in a fight? Did you ever get in a physical fight? Never?
No, I've broken up a physical fight. I broke up a physical fight.
Okay. But you never threw a punch, huh?
No.
You're missing out. I got to tell you, you're missing out. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing in life. I've lost a fight.
If I had the opportunity, I feel like it'd be fun, but I don't think I've ever had
I can see Maggie's Fight Club. I could see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks to Adam on the Rocks.
Adam on the Rocks.
Slurp this guy down. That's the sound of that happening.
Rock. Oh, put a rock in my boba drink.
Yeah. Thanks to Steven Asarian, Highlander.
Wow.
We know about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like this man's carrying a broadsword around.
Yeah.
He's got one of those. Yeah.
You know that I didn't know a Highlander was real for a really long time, right? I swear to fucking God, I thought it was made up. Yes. Yes.
So when you say, I didn't know it was real, you mean you didn't know it was really a movie? Is that what you mean, Brett?
Oh, I mean, or real. Like I thought people were pulling my leg that like Highlander was a film, a franchise, a TV show. I thought it was like they were pranking me.
It's just
You're
words somebody said at a party.
Yes, incredible. No, that doesn't make any sense.
That's such a good belief.
I know.
That's my favorite belief. Steven Asarian, your cover has now been blown. Even Maggie knows about you now.
Now I know.
Yeah, so I don't know what you're going to do, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Might want to get a shorter sword. Thanks to Nicholas Fabian.
Thank you,
Blacksmith. Not by accident those two names are together.
No.
Yeah.
They probably got some sort of deal going on.
He's one of those guys like you saw Kill Bill that like makes the real broadswords. Like you want to know where they are, you go to Nicholas Fabian.
Yeah. The ones you like you don't want to touch in someone's house.
Yeah, he's got hammered like those tools, but they look like they've never been used because he's so good at it, and he keeps them so clean.
Wow.
Yeah, like tongs that shine like the night sky.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really doing it. Yeah. Thanks to Fart Sandwich.
Moving on.
Well done.
And period.
You got what you asked for, sir.
Yeah.
Or madam. Thanks to Nate.
Thanks, Nate.
Thanks to Adam Duncan.
Adam Duncan.
Thanks to Brain and a slightly larger than average jar.
Thanks, Brain.
The more I think about it, the more I want that to be literally the thing that's subscribing to us. Yeah.
Me too.
Just a sentient brain.
I always love, and you know, in old cartoons, they have, you know, like a brain in a jar, or just like
Yeah, cortex is attached to a cable or something, and that's all we needed. Yeah, that's what I want too. I want that to be what this is. Mm-hmm. Thanks to Sarah Sexton.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks to Timothy Schreiner.
Timmy.
Yeah, I always think of my friend Nate, who was a lineman.
Oh.
Anytime I see this name.
Really?
He had a name that rhymed with this. I don't want to say the whole name because he didn't ask to be part of this podcast.
Yeah.
He was like a fucking awesome lineman.
Wow.
He was so good at it. Like when he had to pull, he was a guard. So when he had to pull for a block, like a block of tight end on the outside, that guy was fucking like laser focused. He was flat backing people.
Wow.
I kind of feel like Timothy Schreiner might be flat backing people.
Might be.
He's
been in a fight. What?
Oh yeah. I got earholed once in a very memorable way in football. Do you know what earhold means? No. Okay, so in a football helmet, there's a little hole where your ears are, so you can hear stuff.
Hate this already. Okay, yeah.
So one of the worst ways you can be hit is like when you don't see it coming and they fucking nail you. I was on the scout team because I was never very good at football.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to pull on one side of the line and hit the strong safety. Now, our strong safety went on to play at a major university and started all 4 years.
Whoa.
He was quite good at football.
Yeah.
Great guy. Loved him. And he thought it would be funny to just go full speed and clock me right under the ear hole. Oh. It is one of 2 times in my entire life that somebody knocked me off of my feet.
Oh, my God.
Like I literally went up.
Wow.
He thought it was the funniest thing ever. And I had a real headache for a good hour after that. It was kind of funny, though.
I mean, that's funny.
He ear-holed me.
For sure.
That's what happened. Thanks to Nikolai Glecker.
When you slide into knee.
Nikolai Glecker feels like a slide in its own.
It does.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it feels like I just jumped on a slip and slide, but it's made of syllables. Thanks to Cake Meister. Thanks to Jesse Clay.
Thanks, Jesse.
Hitman.
Yeah.
Sure.
But like when I'd be like, yeah, just do it.
Resigned Hitman.
Yeah.
Doesn't take any pride in their work anymore.
Yeah. No,
just like, sure, I'll kill him.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
What do they do? Who cares? Just what's the money? Great. Wire it to my account.
Afterwards?
Yeah. What do you want it to be? A sniper rifle poisoning? What do you want?
Whatever.
Do I need to wear a mask? Fuck.
Yeah, I'm not picking. Just shoot. You shoot.
Yeah, he constantly asking, can we just do shooting?
Yes.
It's further away.
Yes.
Much easier.
Like, no, I want you to swing on a cord and I'll set up my video cam so everyone knows I'm behind it. I was like,
I want you to pass them a scripted note and remove the mask at a certain time. And he's
real
like,
annoyed
fuck.
by these theatrics.
Yeah, bro, you want them dead or do you want them to be humiliated dead? You know, like nobody cares in the grave, bro.
Right.
Yeah, he's right. Honestly, I agree with him. I agree with Jesse Clay. Thanks to Sean Bibinette.
Thanks, John.
Thanks to Ben.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks to Joel Harper.
Thanks, Joel.
Thanks to Garrett Cooper.
Thanks, Garrett.
You know, that guy probably works on shoes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great shoe collection.
Sure.
Like, you know those people that have like walls of shoes? They have a room dedicated to shoes? That's Garrett Cooper.
I'm jealous.
Me too.
Yeah.
I only have 10 shoes. How many 10 pairs of shoes? How many pairs of shoes you got?
What, 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like any occasion.
Yeah, I got
dressy.
covered. Yeah.
I got
black shoes.
I got these on right now.
I like these shoes.
Yeah, little
Those are
moccasins.
nice. Yeah.
It's the first time I ever got sheepskin.
Oh, what do you think?
Warms the feet.
It warms the feet?
Yeah, it's a little hot for them now.
I was going to say,
yeah.
I have had them in Michigan. They were very popular when I was a teen, but I never got them out here because I was like, I'm just going to sweat and they're going to smell. But
apparently they're good at hiding odor. Apparently that's what sheepskin's good at. That's why they use it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Learning about sheepskin today. You're welcome. Thanks to Benjamin Egan.
Thanks, Benjamin.
Yeah. How many pairs of spectacles do you think Benjamin Egan has?
Probably 2.
But they're always the small round ones, right?
Yeah. Oh,
like those round ones. Like who wears that?
Yes.
Benjamin
He has
Egan.
2 identical pairs of those that he can swap
I
out
like
in case
it.
he loses one.
I like it. Also, he has those glasses that you need when you get motion sick. Have you seen
never
those?
heard of those.
Oh my God,
No,
bro!
what are those?
Do some Googling, bro.
What?
Okay, so here's what they are.
Okay.
They're glasses that are circles in front of the eyes, circles to the side of the eyes. Okay, why? They create a horizon, so your brain always knows where the horizon is, so you don't get motion sick, and they work apparently.
What?
But you look like a fucking clown.
Yeah.
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 You look like a nightmare.
Right. And that's the
Horrifying.
trade-off. Yeah.
That's what Benjamin Egan's whole life is.
Wow.
Double glasses.
Wow.
Yeah. But he never gets sick.
Never get sick.
Hang him upside down. He's feeling fine.
Yeah.
So.
Well, with his friend
laughing?
who's a vampire,
Who's laughing now?
Yeah.
Thanks to Christopher Quattroche.
Thank you, Christopher.
Thanks to Christina Ruiz.
Thanks, Christina.
AKA Breezy.
Breezy.
AKA High Fives.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks to Kyle Schrotel.
Thanks, Kyle.
You didn't do it this time.
Nah.
Thanks to
Probably sick of
Faye
you.
Inaway.
Thanks, Faye.
Thanks to Daniel Christensen.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks to Taylor Carriage.
Thanks, Taylor.
Owns a barbecue manufacturing company. Yeah.
That's not
They make barbecues.
that's great.
Think about what that is in your life if you own barbecue making. You constantly have to eat there. Right? You can't go to a restaurant ever.
No.
Everything's cooked outside
also,
for you.
why would you?
No,
eat
you don't
anywhere
need
else?
to. Yeah, you have the Master Wolf Deluxe or whatever the fuck. You know?
My hometown, there's a place where you can go. They just get a giant smoke pit in the back.
Yep.
Always
Yep, that's what we're talking about
just go
here.
out there and
So
They'll hand you whatever.
I kind of enjoy the idea of a person who owns a barbecue manufacturer, but needs to get the kinky version of barbecue because
That's
they
funny.
and we're talking it's nuclear hot out there. They're cooking a side of pork.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a sauna for barbecues. That's what Taylor Carriage is doing on their weekends.
He's happy.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. He or she.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Probably
happy.
she.
Probably
But
she. Yeah.
probably she.
Taylor at this point is kind of a more.
Yeah. I
know,
feel
more
like
girl
this might be a
names.
feminine name. And finally, last but not least, first in our hearts, last in our words, thanks to Adamantium Jello.
Thank you.
Thank you. Real name Todd.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why not?
Sure.
Todd.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who says there is?
Has a brother named Jerry? That's
Yeah,
a little weird. 'cause-
That's weird.
Yeah.
Todd and Jerry.
Todd and Jerry.
Man, stop being in 1945, bro. Can we,
know.
can we get out
Bring
of
it back.
the detective tales? Can we do that? Anyway, that's the sode. It was only 1 hour and 32 minutes, apparently.
So we nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it. We only have one more to record. So,
I'll just sip a
we have
little bit
90 more
of this
minutes of
latte.
funness.
Woo! I have lots to say about the other movie.
I don't. I got news for you, buddy. We got some time ahead of us. Anyway, but we enjoy
Thanks
it.
for listening.
It's so fun.
It is so
Hopefully you guys
fun.
enjoyed this because you voted for it.
Yeah.
If you've been emailing me, I need to apologize. I am locked out of that account and I have not checked it in a good month. So, or maybe even longer. So forgive me. I'm going to try to fix it. Keep
Sure, we'll
emailing
get
us at that email and we will try to respond.
We'll see you there.
Yeah, we'll see you around.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Have
Talk
fun.
soon.
Bye.
This has been a Small Beans endeavor. We're a bunch of pals who make podcasts, sketches, music, web series, and movies. The Beans always have new ideas percolating, so make sure to check us out at patreon.com/smallbeans. That's patreon.com/smallbeans, where you can browse all of our current and past content, see what we've got planned in the future, and learn how your support can help the small beans grow into huge, giant monster beans. If you enjoyed this content module, please like, rate, subscribe, or tell a friend about us. We love you!